Okay, we're doing a live trading session here, 9:33 a.m., looking at what we do on a daily basis. Bringing up QQQ here on the options chain because that was a ETF that I was looking at to probably play some calls. This is April 23rd, 9:33 in the morning. We have Facebook and video calls running from Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so this is just an audio dubbing over this, or audio commentary over what we were doing. As of right now, you're not seeing me doing anything on this screen because I was on Discord on my other screen, which is our chat room. So looking at it here, probably just updating the members right now on what we're looking at. Then I bring up Firefox, which I'll go ahead and hit up the Twitter. I'm probably just setting up here, more likely just setting up the 40% close here and leave runner on Facebook. But it's not done yet. So again, just kind of prepping to press enter to send a signal, since time is a factor, obviously. And we did hit 40 already. I probably looked at my phone and saw we hit 40 on this 10K challenge account. And just got a question from Camelo saying on Masterclass, saying, hey, we're holding Facebook. Went ahead and sent it already. Anthony sent it on this basic already, the 40% before me. So that's good. And you can see we hit 43% on Facebook. And I'm closing this trade here. Just waiting on it to close. About $213 profit closing order. And confirm and send, and sending out, and that should be closing within seconds, and that's done. All right, so that's closed, and you could see here we still have NVIDIA running. We had a nice little boost in the morning. I'm looking at Qs to see if we get any volume. Nothing yet. Bringing up the charts again. See, we have Apple. Looking at Apple here for some calls. Looking at ES now 28.13, pushing E-mini futures. So we were looking at what we could play with this nice little bull run. All we had open right now was NVIDIA calls. Looking at AMD on that candle, see it was pushing up at 56.79. And yeah, you could see that it is pushing here. And looking at NVIDIA 290.31, should be getting closer to the 40% level that we want to get out in our signal. And see, probably talking to Discord again, that's why you're not seeing my mouse. Bringing up Firefox here in order to talk to the Twitter people, 30% on NVIDIA, just updating the members. We should be nearing 40 as we get that push on NVIDIA at 290.64. Again, looking at Microsoft, maybe some calls for next week since it is a Thursday. We want to get some time on our side. 31% on NVIDIA as my cursor is circling around that. I was doing audio commentary before, but again, I didn't get to record because my audio was connected to Discord at the time. Yeah, you can't have it both ways, unfortunately. So AMD now, looking at the 60 calls here, and no volume yet. Still getting that push there. 215.25 right now. And still going 214.25 on ES. Again, no cursor means I'm probably talking to Discord, the chat rooms. We have the basic, the premium, and the masterclass chat room, also including the investment club chat room. So we talk about stocks we're planning to buy for the long term. And going to monitor, now we're at 36%, closing in on that 40 now. So right here I'm probably typing up NVIDIA 40% just to get it set up for the runner. And we're at monitor 36, we're not there yet. Just bring up Twitter here, and we're going to show you here exactly the calls we made at the time. 19 hours ago, with those 300 calls on NVIDIA, and that was on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, you see we had the 195 calls on Facebook for May 1st. You can see it right there on Twitter, live and printed. So right here, we got 40%. I was probably looking at my phone at the time. I can always take a look on monitor here in a second. It's already sent on Discord. So let's go ahead and bring this up here. Looks like I moved a little bit. 28.17 on ES. Now we're at 40%. I'll create the closing order. Here it's a limit order, $6.95. About $194 profit at PNL open. The limit order is running. It has not filled yet. You can see my cursor circling around it at 291.36. Now looking again, what other opportunities we have. AMD, I'm circling the 60 calls here. See if we can maybe get to that, but we need some volume first. Qs, you could see just no volume yet. So again, we're not playing that yet or at all. But again, it is boosting there nicely. This is as of 9:38 Eastern Standard Time. You could bring up Facebook as well. We got it, the 195s we got out already. Volume was picking up anyways. Good call yesterday to get into those. And a little patience goes a long way. 217.75 on ES here. Again, I'm always watching that. NVIDIA still, the limit order is running. It is filled now, $6.95. So we made our profit. So we let the machine do the work for us. And you can see 218.84. Looks like if we can get a breakout in the continuous. On a side note, right now I'm recording this at 4:31 p.m. We actually got a reversal. So we actually closed pretty slightly flat for the day around 27.90 at the open. Which is basically near the opening price on even the futures, 291.49 right now on NVIDIA at this talk at that time. Netflix is pushing even after that earnings report, where the stock did not react accordingly. Again, it was like a 19% implied volatility, implied move. Only got a 1% move to the downside. That's why we don't play earnings, because you don't know what the hell's going to happen, and you can get crushed either way. So looking at Qs again, I was looking at maybe possibly the 216s for next week, but no volume. Looking at Facebook again, we already got out of that. We got out of video too. So again, just looking at that, but just nothing there. I mean, can't play that kind of volume. It's only 201 vol right now. The best one that's printing was the 215s for tomorrow, which would be Friday, and that's just too risky due to time decay. You don't want to do it that. Any kind of reversal like we had today. After the bell today, or before the bell closed with that Gilead report, that's why you want to be careful. Let's go ahead and take a look here. AMD 56.95 again has a 9:39 p.m. AM, excuse me. You can see that nice little push there. Again, we're just going by what we were looking at today. NVIDIA, we got out of a nice trade, got out of that, got out of Facebook again as a reiteration, and ES pushing at 218. 28.18 right now. Right now, I'm probably talking to the Discord members, which is the chat room, or the school or the team right now. Looking at that, that's why you can't see my cursor moving. So I'm zooming into Apple, seeing if we can catch a play there. If you look at Apple and ES, looks very similar on the charts right now. So it looks like 28.80 and 296 will pretty much go hand in hand on ES. But it's no secret that Apple is one of probably the largest companies on S&P 500. So definitely moves pretty close to it. AMD just broke 57. Looking at here on trade, looking at that NVIDIA 60 call for next week, which is May 1st. It's at $2.07 on the ask. The volume is still not there. And again, just looking around here, see what kind of play we have. But again, patience is the key here. Not much to look at it. So again, are we targeting May 1st? As of yesterday, Juan from Premium just asking me. I get those messages directly. If you add me on Discord, on our chat room, that's when I actually see it. Because I don't have notifications on. There's just too much going on. So 28.19 now on ES here. As we look at, we have on our board video, Qs, Microsoft, Netflix, Apple, AMD, Facebook. Again, a lot of tech. Tech tends to move faster the way we want. So right now, I'm probably talking to Discord again, giving you the play-by-play here. And looking at, see what the next move is. 624 volume on AMD, looking at it. Looks like we're getting a nice little push. Delete. Again, 3 contracts is too much of the risk for the 10K challenge account, which is this what it is. 2, went ahead and filled it. Looks like Discord is about to get the signal right now before I fill. And I'm typing it as we go. As you can see now, when you don't see my cursor, it's probably because I'm on Discord. But again, I have 4 monitors on my desk at a trading time in the office. So if you're not seeing my cursor here, it's because I'm typing the signal to the team. And I also type it on my phone if need be. So I have 2 ways to do it. I either have the phone or I have the desktop to type it up. Obviously, it's easier on the desktop because I could just copy paste. So I went ahead and filled it here. And yeah, we filled at 210, which is good. The Discord already got theirs. And now I'm probably going to get to Twitter, probably talking to my team, making sure that they sent it on Twitter, because we have a team that works on the Twitter as well. So I will tell them, hey, here's the signal, get in it, and they'll do so. So $8 right now. Now I finally sent it out, and I guess I didn't get a chance to send it out, but Discord already got theirs, and I went ahead and sent it out. And there we go. So now we're filled on AMD. We're up 3% on the trade currently, as of that time. And looking at Apple as well, the 270-86-89s, my team was probably telling me to look at Apple for a call. And you can see Facebook kind of reversing there. We got out of that already. Now, like volume spike, you see it went from 600 to 1754 on AMD on the nice spike there. Looks like calls came in after we jumped about a quarter, 25 cents on the actual underlying stock on AMD. So looking at here, Apple looks to be a nice play here. Again, we want to target 280, and I think it does break at that time. 278.84 right now. Nvidia kind of pulling back, but we already got out of that trade. Qs looks very nice. That's a trade I wanted to get into. I do like trading Qs, the Nasdaq ETF, but just no volume there, so just kind of holding off here. So you can see the volume push now on AMD a little higher, around 3,200. We were just at 600 about what, maybe a couple minutes ago. So that volume push did come in. And Qs, I went ahead and took a look. I went ahead and expanded it to all to see if we can get more strikes. And you can see just nothing on the board on Qs at that moment. So again, we don't want to force anything. 200 vol is not going to light the world on fire. We want to do that. You could see AMD pushing out to 57.15. On the 60 calls for next week, still have that. Microsoft kind of hugging that 100-day moving average. AMD broke above the 100-day moving average, which is nice. I don't have the moving average on Apple because it's to the far right. I had to expand my charts. I used to only have 6. Now there's 8 on this monitor. 7% on AMD now, and you could see that already sent, but Twitter is actually pretty behind for the most part. Twitter's been having some issues with sending stuff, so that's where we are. 224, the mark now, 448 on AMD. That was the risk. Well, risk is about $420, which is right around the risk range, and you could see the options buying power about $12,000 right there, and you could see the 10K challenge account right around 13,250. We started with 10,000, so about 32% profit there. You can see Apple pushing now, nice candle. You can see right there, it looked like a nice recovery there. So about 5% again, showing that. And Netflix is boosting. I did want to buy some Netflix stock for our investment club members. The only thing is that the stock bounced off that 420 level I wanted to buy. So again, I like to buy stocks on a pullback, not on a rise. So again, that's usually the case. I like to buy when we're down market, now we're up market. So look at Nvidia now, kind of topping off there at around 290 level. We got out at 289, so pretty good stuff. Facebook, same thing, 187 topped out. You can see a little bit on ES kind of top out range there, 333. Doesn't seem like resistance, but I mean, looks like it just run out of gas at that point. But again, we do get a bounce back in particular and actually break that. Looking at Facebook, you can see the gains that we made for today. Commission is 65 cents per. We only had 2 contracts, and you can see how we're looking there. Those are the live trades there. Again, the main thing, the reason we do these trades here is to show the discipline of the risk profile. Keep it 1 to 4% because things can flip on you. And it has been a rough week in general. So again, you know, the rough week doesn't nuke your month or doesn't nuke your year, and then it's a real big hole. So you can see all the trades that we've had for the year, all the names that we've traded, and how we've gone about it. The P&L for the year to date is about $3,500 on all stocks. So about a 35% return. The only thing you have to take away an account is about $250 in fees that we've paid. I've already contacted TD to see if they can lower that since we trade a lot, but that's just the fact of life when it comes to options. So it takes about $200, $250 away from us. We just got to make that up. A little bit of a pullback here on the ES. You can see 28.14. Looking at Qs again, I really wanted to get into Qs, but there was no volume there. So just looking to see if we get a little spike there. Nothing yet. Look, crude is basically moving the market up 23% on the day. Again, nice buys there at the bottom. We did buy some oil companies a couple of days ago, and it's been paying off pretty nicely for us on that, but that's in a different screen. Looking at Zoom here, I had a couple of questions on it. I went ahead and put an alert on Zoom at 161.17. I went ahead and traded on my personal. I gave that signal to the students. We got into the 170 calls on Zoom, and we actually banked on them. I think I made on that one like 62% on it, but it wasn't a signal just for the fact that it was so expensive. It was about a $6.10 premium. A lot of our members don't have that kind of money to trade it with. It's $610 for one contract. So I filled that 170 at 610. It was at 440. I wish I would have filled earlier, obviously, But again, we didn't have the volume. So again, we just had to play it that way, look for that 1,000 volume to play ahead of time. But again, an expensive contract. I mean, if we filled at 440, but again, we would just be predicting to break that level. Rather just wait for the level to break before I get into anything. So 160, 127 was the level. Spoiler alert, we broke it. And we got as high, I believe it's 168, 169, new all-time highs, and we caught it. For a beautiful trade for the one-on-one students on the master class. They caught that trade with us today. Wish I would have signaled it out, but again, it's just so pricey. That's why we don't trade like an Amazon or a Google or a Tesla very much. It's just so expensive on the premiums for our guys. The last thing I want is our members to be wiped out on anything. Some don't know the risk ranges, and they'll just jump in without thinking. And that's really what I don't want for our members, is to do those kind of trades, and then it just takes one to ruin your month, and it's hard to get out of that hole. You don't want that. So that's why. All right, so I'm probably talking to Discord right now. And I think that's the end of the video. All right, thank you very much for joining me. This basically just showing you exactly what we did for the day and how we do things. And just kind of live little trading, a little fun. Exactly what we do on a daily basis. So it's a lot, but again, we enjoy it. And hope you learned a little bit and saw a little bit behind the scenes action of what we do. So this is Carlos, CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll talk soon.